Good morning, everybody. Welcome to day 5 of week 6. Welcome to Friday, guys. So today is your last day of the week. So today is the day that you will turn in all work that you're pending for week 1 through 6. And then today we'll work on our new lesson, which we're going to start next week. We'll start it today just so you can get a little idea of what we're talking about. And then next week, Monday, we'll hit it hard. So today, the new lesson is 7.11c. We have covered this in detail for quite a while. We covered it for about 2-3 weeks. No, about 2-3 weeks. The first section and then second section, we covered it for about another 2-3 weeks. So in total, almost about 2 months is what we took to cover this. It has everything to do with multiplication, to addition, to equations, and determining how to set up an equation. Are you going to add them together, subtract them, so on and so forth. So without further ado, week 6, day 5 consists of something called composite figures. Alright, so composite figures we discussed before as just finding the area of shapes and determining either total area or how much is missing or how much they need to add, so on and so forth, right? So composite figures, putting two figures together. So first and foremost, your question says that Welder Willis cut a shape from a sheet of metal. Determine the area of the remaining metal measured in square feet. All right? So we see here that he has a large rectangular shape. So know that the formula for rectangles, can't forget it, is always going to be length times width, right? Or we utilized and incorporated the equation of base times height, right? So first you have to always determine your formulas. So of course for a parallelogram, same thing as a rectangle, same thing as a square, you're always going to have area equals base times height, okay? So area of a parallelogram, same thing as area of a rectangle, same thing as area of a square, is always going to be base times height. And then the other shape we have here, we notice is the area of a trapezoid is what we're going to need. Okay, so keeping in mind that our original equation is base times height, notice here that technically this does look like a parallelogram, maybe even a rectangle, but one side is smaller than the other side, right? Well, we can utilize the same equation, but we need to modify it. So instead of knowing what our actual base is, we have the equation of base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 times our height. So the base, the b in base, we replace it with base 1 plus base 2 because technically we don't know what the exact base is. Not one or the other is the exact base. So we take an average of both to give us an idea of what the base is, right? So keep it the same. The two lines that are parallel to one another, are the bases. So base 1 plus base 2. And the height, remember, it is the line that connects the two bases. So the part that connects the 4 feet to the bottom base, this line right here is the height. Just like as if it were a rectangle, it would be the side length. Do not ever include slant height. Do not use that. Notice here they didn't put it, but they could have. They could have simply said, oh, this side is X amount of feet, right? You don't use slant height. Slant height does not tell me how tall or what the distance is between these two bases, all right? So you use base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2 to get my average base, and then you just multiply by the height, which is the distance between base 1 and base 2. So my next step is now I have to determine, am I adding them together? Am I subtracting them? What do you think, right? So it says here that he cut a shape from the sheet. So he has a whole sheet, which is the rectangle, and he cuts a smaller piece from it. So he's subtracting, he's taking it away, right? So it says determine the area of what's remaining, what's left. Hence another reason we're using subtraction in here. So that means that we're going to subtract. So we're going to take the area of our parallelogram or the rectangle and subtract it by the area of the trapezoid, right? So then that just means your last step is work out the equation separately, then combine, right? That's what you always do. Steps don't change. Same thing over and over. Here we go. So, area of the parallelogram. As we look at this rectangle, we notice that it has a base of 12 and a height of 2. Okay? So, a base of 12 and a height of 2. But, be very careful. Look at your units. The 12 is in feet and the 2 is in yards. Our answer choices are all in feet. So you need to first convert your 2 yards into feet. So I know that every 1 yard is 3 feet. So multiply 2 times 3 first, and that'll give us 6 feet times 12 feet. Okay, so 6 times 12. Next, you need to solve it. So 6 times 12, of course, is 72. So area equals 72. So the area of my big rectangle of my parallelogram, same thing, is 72. Okay, 72. Next, I need to find the area of my trapezoid. My trapezoid has 2 bases, which we discussed prior, and it has a base of 4, but then the bottom part, I don't know what it is. But notice that next to the shape, it does have a distance of 1 yard. So if I know the whole thing is 12, and that small piece is 1 yard, then I just need to subtract that 1 yard from the 12 feet to know what the second base is. So 1 yard is 3 feet, so 12 minus 3 is going to give me 9. So I have 9 plus 4, right? So base 1 plus base 2, 9 plus 4 divided by 2 times 3, because my height is 3. 9 plus 4 is going to give me 13. Don't forget it's over 2. 13 divided by 2 is going to give me 6.5. And 6.5 times 3 gives me 19.5. Okay. Next part. Now that I've calculated each area separately, now I combine them. So I have the area of my parallelogram or my rectangle minus the area of my trapezoid. So the area of my parallelogram is 72 minus the area of my trapezoid, which is 19.5. Notice I have feet squared, guys. Area is feet squared. Don't forget it's squared, okay? When I subtract 72 minus 19.5, I'm going to get 52.5 or 52.5. And that would be the area of the shaded region. So I look at A, it's not 19.5. I look at B, it's not 36. I look at C, it's not 34.5. But it is D, 52.5. So that's number 4. Right, we move on to number 5. So number 5, once again, we're using composite figures. Here we go. It says Kyle will repaint one side of the skateboard ramp. The area he will paint is shaded in the drawing below to the nearest hundredth of a square meter. What is the area that Kyle will repaint? Okay, so he's looking to repaint what's left of that rectangle, right? So if I connect that whole thing, I'm going to form a rectangle. So once again, I'm going to take the area of a rectangle and subtract the area of a circle. So what formulas do I need? Well, I need the area of a rectangle, also known as a parallelogram, base times height. Base times height. Okay, then I need the area of my circle. Okay, so area of a circle, we already know, is pi r squared. But remember that this is half of a circle, not a whole circle. So I'm going to take half of pi r squared. So whatever pi r squared is, divided by 2, and I'm done. Okay, so here we go. So next we got to determine, are we adding them or subtracting them? Obviously, the circle is not included in the shape, so we're subtracting. And now we got to work them out separately. So first, I have a base of 13 times a height of 6.5. So the area of my parallelogram is 13 times 6.5, which gives me 84.5. Okay, so that's the area of my rectangle. Parallelogram, same thing. Okay, next, I need to find the area of this circle. But I noticed that in the ramp it says 0.5 meters on the very top. So I was a little dumbfounded by this. I was like, what? I didn't get it. But obviously, once you think about it, it means that each side of the circle has a distance of 0.5. So that much of the area is not included in the circle. That's how much is taken away. So here we go. So we're going to take away a half and a half, which gives me a whole. So take away 1 meter from the 13 to get the diameter. Right? So the diameter of my circle is 12. It's a 12-foot diameter. But I need radius. So you have to remember that to get radius, you take your diameter divided by 2, and you're going to get 6. So I'm left with 1/2 of 3.14 times 6 squared is going to be my answer. So my radius squared times 3.14, and it's only half of a circle, so times 1/2. Okay. Now I need to square it. So I'm going to square my 6 times 6, and I'm going to get 36. So I have half of 3.14 times 36. Now I multiply. Take 1/2 times 3.14 times 36, and you're going to get approximately 56.548667. Okay, it keeps going on because it's pi. Remember we discussed pi never ends, but here we go. All right, so my next step now is I need to combine them. Right, get them separately. Now I combine. Okay, the combining of this, I'm going to use subtraction. So I'm going to take the area of my parallelogram or rectangle and subtract it by the area of my circle. Okay, so I have the area of my parallelogram being 84.5 minus 56.548667. Okay, now keep in mind, you're not going to get an exact answer because even in this question, it says to the nearest 100th. Okay, the 100th. That is the second decimal place after a decimal. So essentially it would be the decimal place after the 5 in each decimal. Okay, but notice 84.5 doesn't have one, so we're just going to pretend it's a 0. So 84.50. Okay, so we subtract, and you're going to get approximately 27.95. Approximately. Give or take. Here we go. Sometimes 3.14. Maybe they used pi. We don't know. Okay, so the approximate area that they're going to color in, or they're going to paint, is 27.95. Notice that F says 27.98. Now, hence the reason I used the approximate and I didn't use the equal sign. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be somewhere close. So it's not G, which is 56.52. It's not H, which is the 113. And it's not J, because it's the 141. So our answer, and our only answer for this one, is F. There you go. So that's how you solve them. So that is your lesson for today. Remember, you need to complete the rest of the questions, which is 1, 2, and 3. I don't know why I wrote 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I'm crazy. Anyway, 1, 2, and 3. Make sure to show me all your work. Take a picture and send it to me when you are done. If you have any questions, let me know. Other than that, have a fantastic weekend. I miss each and every one of you. I love each and every one of you, and I hope you are safe and fine. Also, there is a survey going out. I need you and your parents to fill it out. It should take no more than 10 minutes. I will be calling parents today so we can talk about it. And the quote for today is, think of a number between 1 and 10. Now multiply it by 9 and subtract 1. Now close your eyes. It's dark. That's it. Alright guys, I love y'all and I miss y'all. A little bit of humor for Friday. I thought it was hilarious, but yeah. Anyways, alright guys. I love y'all. Call me, text me. Let me know if y'all need something, and good luck. Bye guys. See you on Monday.